Imagine finding just one old penny and trading it for a luxury car. Sounds impossible? These 5 wheat cents have shocked collectors with prices that can rival supercars. Watch closely. One of these coins could rewrite history. Coin number 1, 1928 S wheat cent. A quiet penny from a loud economic era. Imagine holding a penny that survived one of the most dramatic decades in American history. A time of booming markets, followed by one of the greatest economic crashes the world had ever seen. This is the 1928 S wheat cent, a coin that looks simple, yet carries scarcity, history, and serious collector attention. America in 1928. The world behind the coin. The year 1928 was the final calm before the storm. The US economy was strong, optimism was everywhere, and people spent coins freely without thinking about saving them. Just 1 year later, the Great Depression would begin. That's why coins from 1928 were used heavily, rarely saved, worn down quickly. Finding a 1928 S wheat cent today in solid condition is much harder than most people realize. The San Francisco Mint story. The small S mint mark below the date tells us this penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. San Francisco wheat cents are known for lower production compared to Philadelphia, softer strikes on many issues, fewer high-grade survivors. Because of this, the 1928 S wheat cent is especially challenging to find with sharp details. Classic wheat penny design. Obverse, front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor D. Brenner, a symbol of strength and leadership. Reverse back, 2 wheat stalks framing 1 cent, represents agriculture and national growth, one of the most iconic U.S. coin designs ever made. Why the 1928 S wheat cent is important. This coin isn't famous for hype. It's respected for survival rarity. Heavy circulation era. Coins from the late 1920s were passed hand to hand, stored loosely, exposed to damage. Condition drives value. Most surviving examples show flat wheat lines, weak Lincoln details, dark brown color. Sharp original pieces are genuinely scarce. Market value. The reality collectors know. Let's talk realistic collector values. Approximate market ranges. Heavily worn, $0.75 to fine to very fine, $5, $12. Extremely fine, $20, $40. Uncirculated brown, $75, $150. MS67RD rare, 5,000, 15,000 plus. Scarce in gem. Top certified examples have reached 4-figure prices at auction. Errors and varieties that add value. Collectors carefully check 1928 S cents for off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, lamination errors, minor double details. Even a small error can push the value far beyond normal levels. How to spot a strong 1928 S wheat cent. A clear 1928 date. A visible S mint mark. Undefined wheat stalk lines. A minimal surface damage. A natural original copper color. Never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. A penny that stood at the edge of history. This penny existed just before everything changed. It passed through hands before stock markets collapsed, banks failed, millions lost everything. That makes the 1928 S wheat cent a quiet witness to history. Final thought, don't underestimate old pennies. The 1928 S wheat cent proves one simple truth. Age creates history. Condition creates rarity. Rarity creates value. What looks like a simple brown penny might actually be a collector's treasure hiding in plain sight. So next time you see an old wheat cent, look twice. History sometimes hides in the smallest coins. Coin number 2, 1929 wheat cent. The penny that entered the Great Depression. This coin was minted in 1929, the year the stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. While people lost fortunes overnight, small copper pennies like this one were still passing hand to hand, buying bread, newspapers, and hope. This is the 1929 wheat cent. A coin tied forever to one of the hardest chapters in American history. America in 1929, the world behind the coin. The year 1929 started with optimism and ended in panic. Banks failed. Jobs disappeared. Families struggled to survive. Coins were no longer saved. They were spent immediately. Because of this, wheat pennies from 1929 were heavily circulated. Few were preserved in high condition. Survivors today often show strong wear. That makes clean original examples far rarer than people expect. A design everyone recognizes. Obverse, front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor D. Brenner, a symbol of unity during crisis. Reverse back. Two wheat stalks framing 1 cent. Represents growth and survival, a design that carried Americans through hard times. Why the 1929 wheat cent matters. This coin's value comes from historical importance and condition scarcity, not hype. Depression-era circulation. Pennies from 1929 were used daily, carried in pockets for years, often damaged or worn. Collector demand. Every wheat penny set requires a 1929 cent, keeping demand consistent. Market value. Realistic collector prices. Here's what collectors actually pay. Approximate market ranges. Heavily worn. $1 $30, $1, fine to very fine, $2, $6. Extremely fine, $10, $25. Uncirculated brown, $40.90. MS67RD, $1,000, $5,000 plus. Top examples higher. Top quality certified coins have reached even higher prices at auction. Errors that can multiply value. Collectors look closely for off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, lamination errors, minor doubling. Even small minting mistakes can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable collectible. How to identify a quality 1929 wheat cent. Clear 1929 date, strong Lincoln details. Undefined wheat stalks. An original copper color. No harsh cleaning. Cleaned coins lose collector value instantly. A coin from America's hardest times. This penny may have been used to buy food during the Depression, pay for newspapers announcing market crashes, help families survive one more day. Holding it today feels like holding a piece of struggle and resilience. Final message, history gives coins meaning. The 1929 wheat cent teaches us, hard times create heavy circulation. Heavy circulation creates rarity and high grade. History creates lasting demand. Never ignore old pennies, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the heaviest stories. Coin number 3, 1929 wheat cent. A Depression-era penny with silent rarity. Jobs were vanishing, banks were closing, and yet everyday life continued. Powered by small copper coins like this one. This is the 1929 wheat cent. A coin born at the start of the Great Depression. Minted at a time when survival mattered more than saving. America in 1929, when everything changed. The year 1929 marked a turning point in world history. The stock market crash shattered confidence. Families depended on loose change for food, transport, and daily needs. Because of this, pennies were used constantly. Almost none were saved in good condition. Wear became unavoidable. That's why the 1929 wheat cent is far scarcer today than its mintage numbers suggest. The San Francisco mint factor. The small S mint mark below the date tells an important story. It means this penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which is known for lower output than Philadelphia. Softer strikes on many wheat cents, fewer high-grade survivors. Most 1929 cents show weak wheat lines, flat Lincoln details, dark brown surfaces. Sharp original examples are genuinely difficult to find. The iconic wheat penny design. Obverse, front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, a symbol of unity during crisis. Reverse back. Two wheat stalks framing 1 cent. Represents agriculture, survival, and hope. A design that carried Americans through hard times. Why the 1929 wheat cent is special. This coin is respected not for hype, but for survival rarity. Depression-era usage. Coins from this year were spent immediately, rarely stored. Often damaged through constant handling. Mint mark scarcity. San Francisco wheat pennies from this era are not easy to find in strong condition, making them essential for serious collectors. Market value. What collectors actually pay. Here are realistic collector values. Approximate market ranges. Heavily worn, $0.75 to fine to very fine, $5, $12. Extremely fine, $20, $45. Uncirculated brown, $80, $160. MES 67RD, rare, $2,000, $5,000 plus, scarce in gem. Top-grade certified examples have crossed 4-figure prices at auction. Errors and varieties to watch for. Collectors carefully inspect 1929 cents for off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, lamination errors, minor double details. Even a small mint error can dramatically increase value. How to identify a quality 1929 wheat cent. Clear 1929 date, a visible S mint mark, and defined wheat stalk lines. Strong Lincoln portrait. Natural copper color. Never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys collector value. A penny from America's darkest hour. This coin may have helped someone. Buy bread during the Depression. Pay for a newspaper reporting bank failures. Survive one more difficult day. Holding a 1929 S wheat cent is like holding a piece of struggle and resilience. Final thought. Small coin, heavy history. The 1929 S wheat cent proves one powerful truth. Hard times create heavy wear. Heavy wear creates rarity. History creates lasting value. Never underestimate an old penny, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. Coin number 4, 1930 wheat cent. A penny that lived through survival mode America. The year was 1930. The Great Depression was no longer a warning. It was reality. This is the 1930 wheat cent. A coin born in a time when every cent mattered. America in 1930, the world behind the coin. By 1930, the effects of the stock market crash were everywhere. Banks were closing. Jobs were disappearing. Families depended on coins for daily survival. Pennies were used constantly, not saved. Because of this, most 1930 wheat cents show heavy wear. Very few survived in high condition. Clean examples are surprisingly scarce today. Classic wheat penny design. Obverse, front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Designed by Victor D. Brenner. A symbol of leadership during crisis. Reverse back. 2 wheat stalks. Represent agriculture, survival, and endurance. A design Americans trusted during hard times. Why the 1930 wheat cent matters. This coin is important because of when it was made. Deep Depression-era circulation. Coins from 1930 were spent immediately, handled daily, rarely preserved, survival rarity. High-grade 1930 cents are difficult to find due to years of circulation. Market value, realistic collector prices. Here's what collectors actually pay. Approximate market ranges. Heavily worn, 0.25, 1. Fine to very fine, 2 down, 5 down. Extremely fine, $8, $20. Uncirculated brown, $30, $70. M67 RD, 1,000, 5,000 plus. Top examples higher in auctions. Top quality certified coins continue to perform well at auction. Errors and varieties that increase value. Collectors check for off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, lamination errors. Even minor errors can significantly boost value. How to identify a strong 1930 wheat cent. A clear 1930 date. Sharp wheat stalk lines. A strong Lincoln details. An original copper color. No harsh cleaning. Cleaned coins lose collector value instantly. A coin that reflects hard times. This penny may have bought bread during the Depression. Paid for a newspaper reporting economic collapse. Helped a family survive one more day. It's not just copper, it's history you can hold. Final message, respect old pennies. The 1930 wheat cent reminds us, hard times create heavy wear. Wear creates rarity and high grade. History creates value. Never ignore old pennies, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the strongest stories. Coin number 5, 1930 S wheat cent. A Depression-era penny that survived the hardest times. This is the 1930 S wheat cent, a small coin with a big story. It may look ordinary, but to collectors, it is highly valuable due to its rarity and historical importance. America in 1930, the hard times. By 1930, the Great Depression was in full swing. Jobs were scarce. Banks were failing. Families were struggling to survive. Coins were spent daily, not saved, making high-grade survivors extremely rare. The 1930 S wheat cent was among those coins, surviving despite heavy circulation, wear, and decades of passing through countless hands. The San Francisco Mint and the S mint mark. The S mint mark below the date is crucial. San Francisco coins are known for slightly lower production numbers, softer strikes on some years, fewer top-grade survivors. This makes a 1930 S wheat cent in strong condition a prized find for collectors. Classic wheat penny design. Obverse, front. Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Designed by Victor D. Brenner. Symbol of leadership and perseverance. Reverse back. 2 wheat stalks framing 1 cent. Represents growth, stability, and resilience. The classic wheat penny design lasted until 1958. Why the 1930 S wheat cent is valuable. This coin is not famous for errors. Its value comes from scarcity. Condition. and historical significance. Depression-era circulation, circulated heavily, worn from daily use. Many coins lost or damaged. Collector demand, San Francisco Wheat Pennies from 1930. Are must-have pieces for anyone building a complete wheat penny set. Market value, what collectors pay. Approximate values, heavily worn, $0.50, to fine to very fine, $5, $12, extremely fine, $20, $40, uncirculated brown, $75, $150, MS67RD, $500, 2,000 plus, top examples higher. Top certified examples have reached four-figure auction prices. Errors and varieties to watch. Some 1930s cents can feature off-center strikes, die cracks, weak strikes, lamination errors. Even a minor error can significantly increase value. How to identify a quality 1930s wheat cent. A clear 1930 date. Sheath strong S mint mark. And sharp wheat stalks. A well-preserved Lincoln portrait. Natural copper color. Avoid cleaned coins. Cleaning drastically lowers collector value. A coin that witnessed hard times. This penny survived a period when every cent mattered. Bought bread, newspapers, and essentials. Passed through hands struggling to survive. A small witness to history's toughest days. Holding it today is like holding a piece of resilience. Final message. Small coin, big story. The 1930s wheat cent proves survival through hard times creates rarity. Condition defines collector value. History makes ordinary coins extraordinary. Even the smallest penny can carry one of the heaviest stories in American history.